All right, and so this is Algebra 2, and we're dealing with the concept of completing the square. All right, completing the square. And so in this situation, we're looking to put this in a form to where we can later finish the quadratic. And so I'm going to isolate the squared terms. I'm sorry, the variable terms. So I'm going to add a positive 22 to both sides. Okay, the next step is to factor out any common factors. And the key really is you want this lead term to just be x squared. So I'm going to factor a 2 out. So that's going to give me x squared minus 8x. Okay, so now I have to figure out what goes in here to make this parentheses a perfect square. All right, well, the methodology is to take the b value of the quadratic or of the standard form, right? Take the b, oops, I'm ahead of myself here. Take the b and divide it by 2. By the way, plus or minus doesn't matter because you end up squaring it and then square it. So if you took the negative 8, doesn't matter. So take the b, the negative 8, divide it by 2, and then square it. So we end up with negative 4 squared or 4 squared, and that is 16. Okay, so I'm going to put a 16 into here. Now, we still had the equals and the 22. Now, I've just unbalanced the equation. I've put a 16 into that parentheses, and therefore the left side of the equation is unbalanced from the right. And I have to balance it back up. And here's where students miss a problem like this. They forget that when you factor out a quantity, it's of course a multiplier of everything inside that parentheses. So in reality, I added a 32 to the left side. I've got to also add a 32 to the right if I'm going to keep this balanced. Okay, so now I can finish this thing up. Okay, so let me not go too fast here. So I still got my 2. Let's now take this parentheses and complete the square. So if you remember the procedure, parentheses, it's going to be squared. Take the square root of the first term, put it first. Take the sign of the middle term, put it in the middle. Take the square root of the last term, put it last. That's always the case. You can just factor it normal if you want to, but that's how it's going to turn out. And this is what a 54. Now if I wanted to finish the problem, I would move the 2. If I want to solve this, right? So I'm going to use completing the square to solve it by taking roots. I get 27, and now I have x minus 4 quantity squared equals 27. And what am I going to do? Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus minus, etc., etc. I'm not going to finish it because we just reviewed that with the previous problem. But now I'm well on my way to finishing it. And this one's going to end up with a radical because on the right-hand side, you end up with plus or minus 3 times the square root of 3. You know what? Take a second. Let me finish it. So x minus 4 equals that. So look, on this one, because I have a radical, all I want to do is add 4 to both sides. And remember, the format is to have that 4 in the front. And there's both answers right there. X equals 4 plus 3 times the square root of 3. X equals 4 minus 3 times the square root of 3. But our method here is the completing of the square. And when you got it to this point, you completed the square. All the rest was solving by taking the square root of both sides. Okay.